Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining FEDS. This is our first in the series of webinars, Drone On. Today I'll be presenting a unique and exciting drone for intuitive indoor inspection. To introduce myself, I'm Scott Anderson. I'm the Product Sales Manager at FEDS, nearly 7 years experience in the drone industry from the UK. I've joined recently to assist the team in the growth of the product side. I'm happy to help along today. In the webinar I have Dan Casey. He's my colleague at FEDS and he's the Business Development Manager there. I'm sure some of you in the room have already met and worked with him. He'll be assisting me today in questions. If you have any, please do fire them to us. Last but not least, I'm proud to have Junio Palumbo here. He's from Flyability. He's our team manager for Flyability, and that's for the entirety of Europe, Middle East, and the African region. So there's a lot that he's in charge of there. So we're very pleased to have him on board. He'll also be answering questions throughout and also towards the end. So I don't want anyone to be shy today. Make sure that you select the chat box at any time during the questions through this webinar. You can ask them whenever you want. Towards the end, though, we'll be answering them audibly. I'll get Junio involved as well. But if you want to ask anything now, please feel free and the guys will help you along. So what we're going to discuss today in the drone webinar, well, I'm going to introduce you to the Flyability Elios 2 cage drone. Then going to go through answering many questions. So who are Flyability, who are FEDS, so you may already know who we are. But for those in the room that have not partnered or worked with us, this is going to be a basic crash course on our brand and our company and strengths. I'll then go through in a bit more detail on the Elios 2 as an intuitive indoor inspection drone. I'm touching on why it is easy to fly in confined spaces and why the quality of data on this drone is going to be pretty good. You're going to see the capability of it. But ultimately, I'm going to go through the benefits of the drone, leaving a questions and answers section towards the end. And if you wish to ask them, please do as we go through. So today we are showcasing the best in confined space drones. So this is the Flyability Elios 2. Many of you will be aware of the look of the system. A very impressive little platform, very unique. Here are some images of the Elios 2 in action. So here you see it entering a tank. That would provide inspection companies with a multitude of headaches traditionally. No longer the problem when using a cage drone. And why is this an important example? Well, for planning and inspections, it takes the vast majority of the workforce time and delivery. If you want to inspect the tank, what are you going to do? Well, you potentially have to have scaffolding. You may need staffing. You may need to plan personal protective equipment. There's time constraints as well. How many do you need for that workforce? What are the dangers involved? It's a lot to plan and process. And Elios 2, that removes a lot of that planning. So you fly a drone in there, there's no risk, there's no cost deficiencies, there's no time taken. It's a lot more effective and efficient. It's another great example of the Elios 2 in confined spaces. It shows you that the cage is going to give you ultimate protection, but not just for the drone, but also for the infrastructure surrounding. So you don't need to worry about the propellers damaging anything because the cage is going to protect it. So it's quite a soft platform to use inside these environments. This is a great picture. This shows the luminosity of the Elios 2. You can see it working well indoors, so it's almost as if you were using it outdoors, traditionally lighting, as if you're in daylight. So this aircraft is a leader internally, and you'll see why going forward. So who is Flyability? You might be asking that. Well, they are the leaders in the indoor drone products. To expand on this, they're revolutionising use cases for drones in confined spaces in a multitude of industries. They're based in Switzerland, which is a hotbed for drone technology, and they've led a successful team and they've been built by experts helping deliver innovation and new drone technology. So they've got a great working relationship with not just FEDS, but also with Pix4D, which is a great software platform. And that partnership provides a complete solution. You want to use the drone, you want to take the footage, you want to process that footage. I'll go into a bit more detail later on. So of course FEDS, this stands for Falcon Eye Drones. We're the leaders in the specialist drone services and solutions in the Middle East. We're ranked 7th in the world for survey inspections, and that's by the Drone II independent researching company. Information is on their website. We're a growing team and we're operating the largest fleet in the Middle East, so by far. Our client base takes us over a multitude of industries and verticals. So we're part of the Drone Policymaker Board in UAE. We offer our customers a high return on investment through experience, expertise, and presence in multiple countries as well. I'm consolidating our product sales and expertise, so I'm going to offer you the best sales and support going forward. That's my position. I'm expanding on what we're already good at. Why is our partnership unique? Well, we're an exclusive dealer in Middle East, so we can train clients in viability products. If you want to buy it from us, we make sure that you get the skills that you need to perform the jobs in hand. We can also fix and repair, and we have extensive knowledge in mapping and survey software, so we can cater for everything you need throughout this whole process. These are just some of the examples of the clients that we've worked for in the past and the present. Now, I'm guessing some in the room, you've probably worked with us, you've had experience, so we welcome you back again. And I think it's fair to say we have many clients in many sectors. We're thankful for everyone who's helped us grow so far. But we've also made sure that your business has reaped the rewards of drone technology. And no doubt, I reckon we've probably saved companies millions of dirham by using disruptive drone technology in their workflows. So I'm now going to discuss why the Elios 2 is designed for confined spaces. Now, an overview of drone showcases, of the drone showcases the ability to perform inspection tasks. That's done through the following. It's collision resilient and it's shockproof. So notice that modular design of the cage. Now it's intended for collisions against wall, objects or areas. So when the inspection's to take place, you've got that extra layer of protection. It uses the best transmission technology. You can be confident when you use this drone, it will work beyond visual line of sight and behind walls, behind objects, or through tanks and in culverts. The controller and tablet display works effectively. So despite them being those barriers, you can't see what's going on. Most drones also operate using GPS, global positioning satellites. This drone doesn't. So how is it still working, you may ask? Well, it's quite simple. It uses a multitude of sensors and it allows the drone to fly just as well as the outdoor counterparts. I'll go into a bit more detail in due course, but you will be impressed with how the system works. With the concept of drone colliding with objects, there might be damage suffered to individual parts of the cage, but this isn't an issue for this drone. The drone does come included with spare pentagon sections. They can be easily replaced. Our Feds team can provide training for you. So if you do decide to go for the system, we can carry out this service with you and we can show you how it works, keep you operational on the field. So the great thing is, using this drone, minimal downtime, even if you have a collision. No other drone you can do that. It has a 4K camera and a thermal camera, so you can conduct inspections for a multitude of data sets. You can search for cracks, damage, pitting, thermal residue, or leaks all in one solution. You can process the data using captured or video captured on the drone, and you can process 3D models using those videos that have been captured. I will talk a bit more in detail about that. I skipped some of these slides before, apologies for that. So this is the spherical cage design the Elios 2 offers. It's 360-degree collision avoidance. It has a smart propulsion system. And here's a clever thing. If you impact an object and it starts to rotate, the computer on board will automatically detect that and correct itself automatically. So even if you're a bad pilot, even if you're in a situation out of your control, the drone will correct itself. So be confident in knowing that it will work on top of the capabilities of your pilot. The cage is flexible enough to take direct impacts. You see here with an object or wall, and it continues to operate. So despite the fact that the bending of the frame is there to absorb heavy impacts, and the props on the right image there is taking the brunt of this damage as well, it still operates. So it still works. And that's the great thing with this drone. Complete confidence, even if you make a mistake or you have an incident when using this drone, it will still continue to operate. So it gives you that confidence in knowing that your survey will be up to scratch. Typical municipal culverts or sewers or piping or potentially tank openings, they all have small openings. Now, you see this image shows the Elios 2 is quite small in its diameter. It's 40 centimeters, 15.7 inches. And this allows it specifically to navigate in these environments, which is ideal. So usually that would be a nightmare for any human. You have to worry about the safety of the workers, or you have to worry about the time it would take to get them through, or what happens if they don't even fit through. Well, this system allows you to speed that process up tenfold, and that's ultimately going to save you time and money. Inspections can be done beyond visual line of sight. This allows a pilot more scope for work. Traditionally, outdoor regulations and restrictions prevent those efficiencies. The great thing is, because this is indoors, there aren't those restrictions legislatively. The Elios 2 uses light bridge transmission technology. This sends a strong signal, and that works through walls and containers. That gives you pilot control at all times. And here are just some visual examples of situations in which drones, or this drone will work, the Elios 2, which is great, because traditionally you would struggle with the transmission. It is compatible with a range extender, and this is quite a handy little device. I can talk about prices if you're interested after this webinar. This is the next image. I'm going to show you an example in City of Dayton. It's a water culvert, so albeit not a direct representation of something in the UAE, this gives you an idea of the images and the capability of the system. The settings that were on the aircraft you can see in front of you here. So what do you see in front of you? Well, this shows real-time images taken from a 4K camera on the left. So the two images on the left taken from the camera. On the right, these are images taken post-processed. What does that mean? So taking the footage from the camera, run it through software, and this was a 3D image on the right. So this is computer generated. Notice how similar they are. I'll show you another slide. And you notice top left, we've got the range extender there. That sometimes comes in very handy if you go deep into a shaft or into a culvert. So that's something to bear in mind if you are going to use this drone down tunnels. The range extender will give you that longer range. So again, on the left, real-time information, so still images taken from the drone. On the right, you can see the computer-generated images, very similar. The great thing with this is it allows you to assess the data, and it allows you to understand, okay, so how much material is needed to fix the problem on the left here? You see that the brick is coming away. Well, the system will allow you to plan and calculate the area in which has been affected. So very powerful platform. If you want to know more about that, please get in touch with me after this webinar. Why would you want to use it for indoor photogrammetry? You can organize your data. You can make accurate measurements. You can check structural strength and shape. You can track any changes since your last inspection. So you may want to do this over 1 month, 3 months, 6 or 12. Take the drone through each time and see the changes through that time. Another effective use is you can use it for training. So rather than taking your team on site and wasting valuable time, use the drone, take it down every so often and show the changes in data sets. You can get the team to understand that. Very intuitive to fly. So this is essential for carrying out scheduled work. The drone uses a multitude of technologies to assist in this. How is a cage drone so stable? It shouldn't look stable. It looks clumsy, doesn't it? Well, the Elios 2 uses GPS-less, tongue twister, stabilization. So no global positioning satellite. So how is it stable, you might ask? Well, it uses a series of 7 stability sensors, and they're positioned around the aircraft to help you navigate confined spaces in order to carry out the necessary inspections you need. So this is ideal if you're flying in an area which suffers from turbulent airflow. I know that some tanks, culverts suffer from airflow, throughput of air, and it causes a lot of turbulence in areas devoid of natural light, so it can be quite disorientating. Because of these sensors, the drone will detect its position and will hold its position. So this gives the pilot a 100% confidence despite of these environmental changes and challenges. And on the left here, you can see you can use these sensors to actually create a distance lock with a wall or an object you're inspecting. Going back to my comment on, if you want to inspect over a prolonged period of time, 1 month, 3 months, 6 or 12, use the same distance lock on that same object to see if there are any changes over a prolonged period of time. Now you can change this from 30 centimeters through to 200 centimeters, but this will allow you to prevent collisions deliberately if you want to use it merely as an inspection platform without having to worry about impacting. So multiple layers of redundancy. Fantastic. On the screen here, you can see how this is illustrated. You get a total sense of control. This is your distance lock activated, and it's keeping its distance at all time. Now, the pilot can be pushing forward on that stick. It's not going any closer to the object. Live streaming to the tablet is included. The drone comes with a tablet. It comes with a remote control. It's essential. You can see the footage that has been captured in full HD, and it's streamed using that light bridge transmission system I mentioned. So very high quality, very low latency. This gives you an idea of some of the footage. Apologies if this is jerky. This is the age we're in at the moment. Everyone's using the internet, so I do apologise. But you can see here, all the data is on screen. You have your transmission strength, your battery levels, your altitude, even your camera settings. Everything's on the screen. It's high definition as well, which is great. So all the tools you need to operate this drone effectively. The data quality on the drone is captured through the following reasons. So the Elios 2 utilizes a clever cage design, and it's making any obstructions free from the camera. Notice on this image, that black bar that is at the top is the camera module, and it sits proud of the cage. This is ideal if you're going to want to take shots, and even though you're using a cage drone, it's not in the picture, which is fantastic. So this provides you accurate data sets without having the cumbersome nature of the cage. That was there on the Elios 1, and they noticed that and they improved it in the Elios 2 now. It's cage free on your images, which is brilliant. It's got a 4K camera and it's capable of 12 megapixel stills. You'll be confident in knowing that when you are taking footage and you're utilizing this data, you're not compromising on the quality of the camera. It uses a small lepton thermal camera. Why has it got this on, you may ask? Well, it's great because now you can just detect not just the stills for data sets and for inspection work, but you can also detect data for leaks, human or animal presence, maybe in containers or wherever you may be searching indoors. Hidden defects traditionally impossible to detect with normal cameras can be detected with this. So if there are any thermal residues or leaks, then the thermal camera will pick them up very easily indoors. The module of the camera, so that bar I mentioned before, you can tilt it 90 degrees up, and you can also tilt it, I think it's up to 90 degrees or 30 degrees down as well. So there's a lot of freedom of movement there. And why would this be important? Well, you could be in a situation, you're flying the drone and you're in a very confined space. You want to look at the object above you. You can't rotate the drone, you can't move it up. Why not move the camera? It gives you even more flexibility when you're flying in confined spaces. So those sensors that I've been talking quite a bit about, there are a multitude of two different types. You've got optic and you've also got the laser sensors as well. So they are used in combination. They provide you the very best in safer flight for indoors, prevent collisions, and that data set is consistent as well. And there are multiple sensors too, so more redundancy. This drone's got the brightest lighting system of any drone out there on the market today. It's 10,000 lumens, so 10K lumen lighting, and it provides near daylight intensity. So if you're flying indoors, you don't need to take a light, you don't need extra equipment. This system does it all in one go. So no natural light, no problem. You can see the tiniest cracks or issues, and these lights are very powerful. So much so, as I say, it's like using it in daylight. There's more advantages to this than you may think. How would that be? You may think as well, well, if you're using it inside a container, what about dust? What about debris? Well, the Elios 2 avoids this, and it uses a clever lighting system. Now, hopefully this video plays well for you, but you can see on the left here, using that clever lighting system, it avoids any artifacting, dust or debris. And on the right here, this is your normal lighting. So if you didn't have that extra oblique lighting on the system, you wouldn't see anything but dust and debris. So very clever, and it's been designed with this issue in mind. Another string to it though, that oblique lighting. Why is this unique? Well, it offers a new feature for the Elios 2. In the past, as you see in front of you, if you were to shoot directly on an object, you'll only see the surface. You won't see, as you see here, the shadows cast on the damage to any surface or object. So in front of you here, you see on the left, direct lighting. Very good. You can see the internal and you can inspect the internals of this tank. On the right, though, you do see there is scoring or pitting. So this allows you more data to then make serious decisions on whether you need to make surface amendments or repairs on this tank inside. So this is another string to the bow on the Elios 2. You can see why it's quite a valuable inspection tool, and especially for data processing. So what is this process of data? What can we showcase on top of this? Well, it has an inbuilt cockpit software platform. This is downloadable onto the tablet, should already be installed when you purchase the drone and receive it. Now, this features a lot of data sets, so you can check your telemetry when you're flying. You can also see your service maintenance report if you go into the software on the drone. There's a software update recently launched, and the great news is if you want to know when you need to maintain or manage this drone, it will tell you on screen. You can capture videos, you can report as well. So if you want to create a report based on the footage, you can use that software for it. You can use the drone for 3D modeling. You can take the footage, you can drag and drop it into Pix4D software, which we sell as well, and you can capture that data set and allow you to post-process or show it to the board or to your management team, and you can give a real-time indicator of that footage that you took on board the aircraft and move around it. For 2D measurements, we did talk about photogrammetry capability, but why is this important? Those culverts I showed you before, well, if you want to make repairs, you can't get humans down in there because it's not cost effective. Put the drone in there. You can measure that area using that 3D model. So it gives you an accurate indication of the surface area in which you want to repair or replace items, brick, concrete, whatever it may be. This makes the system ideal for that assessment. And going further into it, it is built for success. It's got a modular design and it can be maintained with ease. We offer the pentagons. You get 5 extra segments for every purchase, and this is great because we can help train your team and you can repair these on site. It means you get less downtime, means you're up and you're using it more often, and you're not worried about sending it back to the manufacturer or to Falcon Eye drones for repairs. You're out in the field longer. Training is included in your package and it's essential. It's very well and easy to understand how to fly the drone. That's half the battle. It is very easy to use. However, the hardest part about any data set is how do you manage that data? With our expertise and experience, we can help your team understand, okay, well, let's take footage of 100 bolts inside a warehouse. You're flying that drone and over the course of a day, you fly for a few hours. How do you assess the damaged bolts based on all that footage you've taken? There needs to be a process in place, and we can help with that. There are a lot of benefits for the Elios 2. The main parts or main points to prove are it will improve your safety. So it will remove the need to build scaffolding. It will remove the need to invest in PPE for workers. It's going to reduce your administrative costs. You don't need to spend as much time on setting up for inspection. You also need fewer controls. You need a pilot, you need a drone. You don't need a team, you don't need scaffolding. You don't need a risk assessment, you don't need administration. You're going to reduce your downtime and you're going to carry out inspections within hours. It's not going to be days. So take the drone in there, fly in the asset, take several batteries, you're done within a few hours. How long would it take you to implement that with a team in scaffolding? This really is a win-win solution for inspection. It's going to lower your costs, it's going to save you money. And these are some examples of the sectors that we've sold and we work with in terms of providing Elios 2 and training. There are a multitude of sectors, and many of you in this meeting right now, this webinar, will be a part of some of these sectors and verticals, and I hope you start to see the use cases for this Elios 2 and how it will help your workflows and save you money. This is an example of a client. I imagine we have some representatives in the webinar, so thank you for being with us. We conducted a demonstration. They're looking to purchase several drones. Obviously, with the situation with today, that's on hold. However, we did prove the use case of the Elios system indoors in confined spaces, and that was using it in the Dubai Metro tunnel system. So they were very pleased with the system, and they were very happy with how it can save money, it can speed up the process of checking for damage without the need of shutting down the system for longer than it needs to and constructing scaffolding to get the team up to the roof and to the surfaces. So a very cost-effective solution for them. What's in the box? Well, this is the starter package. You can email me for pricing. With this system, you get the drone, the box, batteries, tools that you require, the extra pentagon cage modules, which I mentioned. You get introductory training, you get support, and also you get a 12-month warranty. We usually recommend the professional package. So you can see the difference here. You get more batteries, get more battery chargers. You get a 24-month warranty, so twice the warranty, and that's so important. If you're using this for your business, you want cost effectiveness, and if you can provide warranty for 2 years, there is no concern in using this aircraft. If anything were to happen, you've got that safety net with the Fed's 24-month warranty, which is fantastic. The batteries last about 10 minutes, and I know a lot of you may be concerned with that flight time, but you can't compare it to the drones outside. You've got to look at it this way. You can use several batteries, they're cost effective. 10 minutes is a long time when conducting internal inspections, but the time and the saving and the cost effectiveness of this drone far outweighs that. We offer training, so we can show you how to use the drone, how to use the software, the controller interface, and also process training, so how to inspect efficiency, as I previously mentioned. Want to know more, please email me, scott@feds.ae, and I can send you pricing as well. Some of the software platforms it is compatible with, you've got Pix4D. So these are some of the software versions of Pix4D. They are flyability friendly. You can use Mapper, Survey, and Inspect. There is a cloud-based system as well. So if you want to transfer this and use the cloud to process that data and share it, then we would always recommend having the annual subscription to Pix4D. It gives you that capability. This webinar is going to be sent to you afterwards, so I hope you enjoyed today. I will send a recording in due course. Going forward, there are further flyability webinars. On April the 9th, there is Can a Drone Be Used for Formal Inspection Tools with APIs and ASMEs. That's available on the flyability website. Please do employ you to go and have a look at that as well. It goes into a bit more depth into how you use it as an inspection tool. On April 21st, Pix4D applications and implications. So if you want to use the flyability Elios 2 and learn more about the software for indoor 3D modeling, as I was mentioning today, then I would advise you to register on that as well. If you want more information, please email me on these webinars. I can send you the links for them. So at this point, if you have any questions, please type it in the chat box. We'll answer it. If you have any future questions, you can get in touch with myself, with Dan, and with Julio as well. We'll be happy to assist you. You've got my number on there if you want to call me. Well, thank you very much. We're going to take this moment now to work with the rest of the team and answer your questions.